government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway, from Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. Let's be clear. I hear it all the time. Cumulative deficit reduction, play for the programs many times over.
Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys.
Let me start off with two words. Made in America. Made in America.
Welcome back to another night of Shtick with Koolfrogg. Oh my God, that was fun. I really did enjoy MLS Law Show. If you missed it, I totally suggest going back and watching that stream. It was great, very enjoyable. And we talked about a lot of different things for sure. You heard he poops himself when he's mad? Yes. The resident of the United States of America does potentially do such a thing. So I've been told. Welcome, Madcore Mofo. What is up? Good to see you. Beautiful's in the house. Jariah says, "Hey, Koolfrogg, sorry I missed the interview. I thought this was the interview with MLS and didn't realize the other show was already running. Hot mess over here." Yeah, there seemed to be a little bit of a discrepancy on which show was which. Even he tweeted this show out, thinking that he was tweeting out the other show. So there was a little bit of a kerfuffle per se for that particular instance. What's up, Clumsy? Good to see you, Derek. Glad you're here. ID Crisis says, "I heard he poops himself," and I have the tendency to agree with you. Who else we got here? We called everybody else out already. If you're here and you haven't done so already, please hit a like button, share this out, and let people know where we're at. Let your friends know and let them actually join in the conversation. Also, don't forget, tomorrow at noon, I will have the Broken Baker with me. So another members only stream happening at noon. I'll hopefully have something set up for tomorrow night for a show as well. I believe I have a couple articles. Those of you that know where you're at and actually understand that you can actually go to the community tab, which I believe should still be updated. I'll take a look at it again. Hit the community tab. Grab that Discord link and bring yourself into Discord. You can hold the conversations with us on a regular basis. I do have several other shows coming up in the near future that are already scheduled. I got Divinity and Nova joining me next week, Saturday. I have Madcore Mofo the weekend after. I got Clumsy Clairvoyance. And for the end of September, I have there's somebody else that I'm missing. Ken's counseling couch is actually supposed to also come through for the end of the month. That should be fun. I'm excited for all these people that I've been able to actually get a hold of and actually set up shows with. I really seriously appreciate everybody so much for all of their support. Look like I picked up 33 memberships on the last stream, this with MLS Law, as well as another $4.99 super chat. I appreciate everybody that was there and actually did that. I'm kind of looking back through. Oh, yes. How could I forget? On the 2nd, Christina Reddick's firm will be with me at a special start time of 5 p.m. that Saturday. She got an earlier start because she needed it. I believe that's everybody that have shows coming up with I called out. I hope I didn't miss anybody. It's a very, very interesting, fun month ahead to actually get into. There might be other people that I've actually reached out to see if they'll actually come join me, and you just never know who's going to be next. ID Crisis, you should actually hit me up and join me for one of those Saturday streams. I know that you're uh, available on those Saturdays potentially, so you might actually want to pick up one of those dates. If not in September, those couple days left. Um, Maybe in October if it works out better for you. I'm so excited. Our show's gonna be fire. Yes, it is. I can't wait for Clumsy Clairvoyance. That'll be super fun. What are we at? What 27 days now? 26 days, something like that. It's coming. It's coming. It's gonna be fun. Anyway, so tonight, I'm gonna actually go ahead and cover this lady out of Seattle, Washington, just so happened to go ahead and step down from her position with the police department. And she left a very long 15-page resignation letter. That's probably the only thing we'll cover tonight. I probably will not go anything further than that. I do have a beer sitting here, as I had already drank one. It should be lit in itself. I'm ready for it. Let's see if I can't make this a slightly bigger for you to maybe catch some of the words. So maybe make this a little wider. Yeah, see, that's going to be maybe there might be the best. Anyway, 15-page scathing letter from this young lady that decided to actually step down from the police department after 23 years of service. Let's see here. I got to chat. I will try staying with chat. Beer, what kind of beer? It's a local brew. It actually is a double maize honey lager with a hint of lime. It's very tasty. Mhm. Well, did I miss somebody? Where's Jerry? Where is he? Oh, what's up, Jerry Lass? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Putting the kid to bed. Be back soon. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Hey, Mike Hunt, how you doing? Good to see you. All right, so it says Chief Adrian Diaz. This will be a brutally long letter, but after 23 years, I have a few things to say. Each page is initialed, so no one can do the typical SPD. I don't know what happened. It just automatically deleted routine. That's kind of rough in itself. Just the first little paragraph to come off of it. Oops. I don't want that to happen. So I made sure that I initialed each and every single page so that you wouldn't miss any of it. Once upon a time, my job meant everything to me, my passion, pride, and reason for being. Little did I know, it harbored a dark secret. Behind the scenes was breeding ground of lies, deceit, favoritism, and rampant corruption. The department I once trusted turned out to be nothing more than a circus with boisterous clowns running amok. On August 1st, 2023, I'll be retiring from the Seattle Police Department after dedicating over 23 long and soul draining years of my life to this city. I'm writing my unfiltered, raw, and unapologetic exit interview today. I refuse to fill out the form exit interview because it's nothing more than a tool for you to control the narrative. And I won't let that happen. This is my story, and it will be on my terms, not yours. You don't control me anymore, and I won't allow anyone to silence my voice or manipulate the truth. I'm taking back the power and speaking my mind freely, exposing the reality of my experience without any filters or restrictions. Chief Diaz, let me tell you, the state of Seattle Police Department in this city is a disgrace. The toxic mix of Seattle City Council's absurdity and spinelessness of the mayor, the leniency of the prosecutor's office, your failed leadership has accelerated this city downhill, slid straight to rock bottom. The problems were already brewing before you come onto the scene. But since your arrival, it's been a free fall into anarchy and chaos. This lady was not nice. She was not nice in any way, shape, or form. She seriously hates the city that she worked for so long that she vowed to protect and be and make it her own. She really seriously gone to the point of turning away from the city and calling them out for their ignorance as it be. It's kind of interesting to see how far they've actually gone. Gotta move a few things to be able to see chat. My screen's a little bit wider than it normally is because it wouldn't allow me to actually make the screen larger. She's saying what we all already knew. It's good to be vindicated. And that's the thing. That's the thing. There's so many people that would have actually just gone ahead and actually filled out that form, went along with whatever they were suggesting there to do, and do just that. And then allowed them to actually spin the narrative that you actually walked away from your job in without altercation of any type or sort. She just walked away. The city council has lost touch with reality and is making decisions that defy common sense and basic logic. Their priority is playing politics and pandering to radical ideologies rather than genuinely serving the city's and its residents' best interests. Their absurd policies have turned Seattle into a playground of anarchists and criminals, and they seem utterly concerned with the devastating consequences of their actions. If you haven't noticed, the criminals are running this city. This perfect combination of failed leadership created a perfect storm of incompetence and chaos. It's no wonder Seattle has become a laughingstock of the nation and the globe. They're laughing about us on the international news. Aren't you embarrassed? I am. It's mortifying. The city that once prided itself as progressiveness and prosperity has now become a hotbed for crime and anarchy. It's infuriating to witness the city's downfall under the watch of spineless mayor and radical city council that seems very concerned with pandering to extreme ideologies than actually governing. Instead of taking decisive action to protect the city and the citizens, the mayor disregards the rampant lawlessness of the streets. It's a disgrace to see the city leader prioritize political correctness over the safety and well-being of its people. Listen, Seattle deserves better, and it's time for a complete overhaul of the leadership that has driven this city and state into the ground. I've never in my life witnessed such weakness when it comes to enforcing the law. Chief Diaz, as you continue to play your political games and manipulate the truth, know that this city's officers and citizens are suffering under your failed leadership and incompetence of those in power. The people of this city deserve leaders who will stand up for what's right, enforce law and order, prosecute those who break it, and prioritize safety and well-being of its residents above all else. It's time for reckoning, and the citizens of Seattle deserve competent leadership like totally like slams this guy, throws him under the bus, and says he's totally incompetent for what he's ever done, and believes that that there should be better people in play. And I wouldn't disagree with her when it comes down to it. It seems like the police enforcement across the United States has actually gone to the trash. It's really seriously been something that we've overlooked, and has been actually brought to the likenesses of like Antifa and or BLM actually going to the point of wanting and uh, um, to politicized to the point where they actually call it out for what they believe it to be, and say all cops are bastards. It go to the point of actually being uh, defund the police altogether. Defunding the police is not an answer for anything, and I believe that it's actually going to be the downfall for a lot of things. Thank you so much, Clumsy Clairvoyance, for gifting the membership. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Um, she's just telling it like it is. She is, and that's why I feel it's necessary to actually share this with so many that may have not actually had the chance to actually go out and actually read such a thing. After dedicating over 23 long, soul draining years of my life to this city, it pains me to leave behind a career that was once synonymous with hard work and meritocracy, and one that I truly loved. But the organization I once respected has completely lost its way. When I first joined this department in 1998, my sole purpose was to make a meaningful difference and serve the community. I poured my heart and soul into my work, tirelessly raising substantial funds for nonprofit organizations, spent my personal time doing my best to help people experiencing homelessness get back on their feet, and strive daily to ensure the safety of our residents and visitors. I took immense pride in my contributions and earned my Outstanding Public Service Award. However, none of that matters. I refuse to ignore the demoralization and blatant disregard for our officers' well being under your leadership. SPD is dangerously understaffed, and officers and their families are suffering. The hours are ruthlessly long, and due to staffing crises created by you, the mayor, and the council, these unsafe conditions are entirely unacceptable. Completely. They have also been working for years without a contract, also unacceptable. Ask any of us if a meager 30,000 hiring incentive will attract quality applicants, the ones our department desperately needs, and the answers will resoundingly be no. You better develop a retention bonus soon and change your MO, or you're really going to be in trouble. Just look at the LinkedIn comments and you'll see the harsh reality. Money won't keep anyone in this toxic environment. It was never about the money. The intelligent officers will take the money and run, seeking refuge where their voices are generally heard and their well being is generally valued. If your goal, Chief Diaz, was to beat us down and strip away our motivation, congratulations, because you succeeded with flying colors. It's truly disheartening to witness your complete lack of concern for the welfare of these who faithfully serve alongside you. Instead of taking care of the people, you consistently have your nose crammed up someone else's ass, more interested in playing political games than leading with integrity. But hey, that's been your modus operandi throughout your entire career, right? Conveniently, more deserving candidates were bypassed for you to reach your current position. It's truly remarkable. In a flash, you ascended from lieutenant straight to assistant chief, spending a week or two in that position before becoming deputy chief. It's quite a spectacle. Disgusting, I must say. The good old boy system keeps on ticking. I could go on and on about the shady incidents that happened under your watch, but there isn't enough time. This is about the officers, the heart and soul of this once exemplary department. It sickens me to witness your complete lack of concern and well being for those who put their lives on the line daily. Your self centeredness closes your eyes to the sacrifices and dedication of these officers. While you revel in your self importance, they face the dangers of the streets, uh, violently fighting to keep this city safe, all with increasingly limited staffing. But what do these officers receive in return? A so called leader who is more interested in retaining power than in supporting and empowering them. Your insatiable appetite for control leaves them adrift without guidance. Thank God they have the moral compass to navigate the treacherous waters because they've been left to fend for themselves. They deserve so much better. They deserve a leader who will fight tooth and nail for their rights, champion their well being, and inspire them to be absolute best versions of themselves. Furthermore, they deserve someone who will navigate the ship with unwavering integrity, honor, and a genuine commitment to their success. Amazing. Let's get to the point. She's a hot cop. I'm maybe that could potentially be. If she wasn't, this in itself, this in itself might be enough to actually make her even more hot than she ever had been. She's got the cojones to actually go after this man and just rip him to pieces, as well as the whole department, and hold them up for what they actually are. Just garbage. No, I don't like women with cojones. Not actual ones. Those figurative ones. Mrs. Officer, Mrs. Officer, Mrs. Officer. You really became a puppet, a spineless yes man, perfectly willing to throw the entire department under the bus to achieve your coveted spot as chief. Complete with a fancy corner office, your approach reeks of desperate hunger for control rather than genuine understanding and respect for the autonomy of our officers. This is a toxic environment where dissenting voices and swiftly demoted, silenced, or completely pushed out. As I walk away from this extremely toxic environment, I can't help but notice the stark contrast between your approach and the courage displayed by other police chiefs and sheriffs across the state. They respect individual choice and autonomy. While you resort to underhanded tactics and coercion, your manipulative language crossed dangerous ethical lines attempting to control behavior and emotions. I cannot overlook the egregious treatment I endured under your watch. You left me in an unavailable LTD black hole for 2 years with zero contact, except for sending me a certified letter about getting jabbed before I could return. My condition, my medical condition, uh, trigeminal neuralgia and migraines is well documented, but that didn't matter. It didn't matter that this jab came with possible neurological side effects for potentially exacerbating an already horrible condition. Your approach, throw the baby out with the bathwater. The lack of communication and support during this time have been unprofessional and despicable. I should have been afforded an accommodation from the jump, but instead, I received an email that approved my request and another one that denied it. Your staff must look at every accommodation request individually. None of that happened. None of it. Once you realized, though, the mad scramble was on. I didn't know who Emily White is, but she was a poor woman stuck trying to do some slick verbal judo in an email to smooth it over. But I didn't fall off the truck yesterday. At that point, it was a clear pretext to try to cover the city's butt. Critical, independent free thinkers figured this out from the get go. Clearly, you are not one. Neither are your lackeys. Your failure to address the situation demonstrates a complete disregard for your officers' well being and basic human rights. For her to actually go to the point of actually feeling that she wasn't being heard or even paid attention to give the correct accommodation for jabs in themselves is disturbing. I don't feel that anybody should have to have been forced to do anything in any way, shape, or form. This is not something that should actually come close to even being. But they took it there. They took it there and they made it what they did to actually go ahead and force everyone to do it because that's what everybody else was doing. Do what everybody else is doing and you'll be fine. Sure. Pull over, that arse is too fat. What are you drinking too, Clumsy? Fun. um yes, I do know if totally. No, I know it. I get it. Um yes, she totally read your fuck the police totally wrong. She took that totally out of context. The word you're looking for is coercion, Koolfrogg. Ah, yeah, that's a good word. That's a fun word. But I didn't fall off the truck yesterday. Oh, see, I read through all that one, right? So it is clear to me, Chief Diaz, that you know you screwed up. I know that you screwed up. I can't hold back my concerns any longer, and I'm not alone in feeling this way. The language used to promote the mandate felt like a dangerous ethical line was being crossed. It wasn't just about encouraging compliance, but about using psychological techniques to manipulate behavior and emotions. You're aware that these tactics impact on your sense of autonomy and individual choice. We were being coerced into compliance with language that implies doing anything apart from what's um, dictated is wrong. This guilt inducing approach is troubling, making me question the mandate's integrity and your motives. I know you'll be quick to blame it on the mayor or governor, and while certainly they're also to blame, seriously, where's your backbone? Do you even have one? The way public health, government, and media has skillfully crafted language and messages to create psychological hooks and is disconcerting. It feels like we're being played, like puppets on strings, and it's unsettling to see those in positions of authority like yourself endorsing such tactics. However, sharing information and respecting people's ability to make informed choices is essential. Without pressure or the government employer cramming it down our throats, manipulative tactics undermine trust and erode our sense of self community. We're not just members of statistics, we're individuals with thoughts and emotions, and using shame based and belonging language can harm our sense of self. We can't afford to undermine trust by resorting to manipulative tactics. Informed consent I, is the law. Look it up. It it's in my request for accommodation, and if you need a copy, I have one. Is this the kind of environment we want to foster where fear and guilt are used to control our actions? You can shape the narrative and promote genuine understanding and cooperation as a leader. Let's not forget the public health measures have always relied on nudges and persuasive techniques. This time, they took it to extremes, incentivizing with hamburgers, fries, lotto tickets, etc. Hello, huge red flag. But you ignored it. Everyone is entitled to make their own medical decisions. Don't for one second get it twisted. I'm not an anti jabber. I've had all of them, but this one was different. To me, it is clear as day that there is an agenda at play. She knows what's up. She knows exactly what was happening. She was seeing it happen. She was able to actually wake up to the situation and look at it straightforward to, make herself understand. For her to Anta, yes, same. Anta. I'm totally against anybody being mandated to do anything. When I think of mandates, and obviously slightly different, but when I think of mandates, and it goes back to the days of working factory jobs, and you'd be like Thursday, and you'd be like, okay, is the boss going to come up? Because you know that you'd have to give you at least a day. Is the boss going to come up to me today and say, would you like to work on Saturday? Or you must work on Saturday? Now, if they came up and they asked, hey, are you available? Can you work Saturday? It'd be, oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. But the second they'd walk up to and they would say, it's mandatory. You must be here. Otherwise, it counts against you for not being here for a regular day on Saturday. You just be like, what the? I don't want to show up on Saturday. I had no idea that, I had no reason to feel that I wanted to. And that's pretty much where they actually brought this. They mandated it. They actually brought it to the forefront where they actually said, you must do it. You must do it. And if you don't do it, you're going to get labeled. You're going to get labeled, and everybody's going to know who you are for what you did. And you're going to be called out as being a bigot and racist and whatever else because they don't like you for actually having your own thought or opinion when it comes to something so ridiculous. I know that you've realized hold on. I know that you've realized the impact of these tactics on your sense of autonomy and individual choice. Your guilt inducing approach and the threat of losing our jobs made it feel like you were being coerced into compliance with language that implied anything beside obedience was wrong. Seeing those in authority using such tactics is disturbing, treating us like mere puppets. It's criminal, in my opinion. But this is why you've left me alone in this black hole of no pay and no benefits on the unavailable list. I kept waiting for you to terminate me because I refused to get that jab. But I am sure you understand that terminating my employment would open a can of worms. But let me tell you, a can of worms will open no matter what. Maybe not right now, but it will open, and your name will be all over it. Your lack of accountability and mistreatment I have experienced under your leadership is unacceptable. The truth will prevail. It always does. all medical issues resulting from this jab falls squarely in you, the mayor, and the governor. We can't sue pharmaceutical companies, but we can sue you. It would be best if you had done your research, especially when gambling with our people's lives. I did. Why didn't you? Because so many don't. So many refuse to actually look at anything and actually try figuring out if any of this is any good for anyone whatsoever. Uh, I've done the research. I've looked into a lot of it. I know that there's several here, several that are actually watching, that actually have actually woken up to it, or have actually gone ahead and done the thing, and feel that they shouldn't have actually done that, and it actually hurt them as they actually got injured in any way, shape, or form when it came down to it. It does have a list of accelerated cancers as well as other issues, heart problems, nervous system problems, skin issues, clots of different types, seizures, sudden strokes, or even death were all possibilities with this jab. But again, you didn't. Don't care. If I were in your shoes, I would have been terminated for refusing to force this on my people. There's no way I would ever demand a personal medical decision be forced upon my people. Never. I will never bend to the mob or a corrupt government. But you are a yes man. I even question whether you took it or not. I wonder how many fake jab cards are on file. I know the jab was a bad deal as soon as Trump marketers started selling it. You know, it didn't even take that long. It's just something that you're like, nope, not going to do it. It was one of the first questions that actually came out of my wife's mouth, which she's not one that actually she thinks that all the other ones should be fine. And she first thing she asked me, so are we supposed to take it or are we supposed to wait for the shot to the head? Which one are we doing? And we seriously looked at each other, and I said, "Well, I guess we'll just wait for the latter." Because not willing to actually remove myself right now and continue to injure myself to believe that that would be anything of good standing. Now, place that my wife currently works, she's okay. They didn't actually ask her about it. The last place, the animal hospital, they asked her about it. And she told them the truth that she didn't. And they all kind of looked at her a little strange as they went through seasons, through winters, and actually got to the point where every single one of them got sick all over again, but her. And they thought it was really strange and odd that it just so happened to be that she didn't, but they did. But still went ahead and go, with their questioning that of her needs and motives for actually doing such a thing. It's like, oh, you don't see it? You don't see it? Are you ignorant to the point, or are you just stupid? Yes, yes. Those that didn't actually take may actually be finding themselves being crowded up into cars and shipped down to locations to be mass eradicated for not thinking the way that they wish that everybody would just think. One of those things. What's up, Matthew Self? Good to see you, brother. Coming to harass me? Good. enjoy yourself, join the conversation, and we'll try to play nice. Jerry Lassa, I got injury, arm hurt, and had chest pains for a year. We didn't get the boosters and didn't let our kids get it. Uh-huh. 3 to 5 years is what they pretty much came down to is being the longevity of this particular jab in itself that would actually remove the majority of the population that they want to reduce also much. And there's a difference between ignorant and stupid. There really is ID crisis. Yes, I agree with you. There's a big difference between one and the other. You got 45 reasons why I ain't. No, train rides. Got you, Go Hagen. I'm with you on that one. Yeah, yep. I didn't really realize that either. The damage can be reversible. It's something. Even America Shirts, who I wish was around. I wish he was around because I know that he would enjoy this particular subject. If anybody knows where he is, hit him up and say, "Hey, you need to get a hold of Koolfrogg." But yes, there are ways of actually going ahead and doing that. Yeah, no choo-choo trains. Clumsy. Be careful. So congratulations, you now have a bunch of pissed off employees who felt they are coerced and are wondering what the hell is in their bodies. Spike proteins of some sort, potentially. Those are the things that you need to actually look at to potentially, be flushed out to actually not cause those carditis sisters that we all hate so much. I'm not going to mince words. We're fed up with being treated like secondhand citizens. At the same time, you flex your power and waste your hard earned money in taxpayer dollars on all of your consultants who are trying to figure out the number of deployable officers. Why would anyone need to hire consultants multiple times to figure out why the count of deployable officers is always so off? My God, some people are hidden so deep in this department that you couldn't find them if you wanted to. They're collecting a check, but where are they? Who do they report to? What is it that they do exactly? Where's their desk? Inquiring minds want to know. It seems like there's a lot more going on with this particular situation than just the jab in itself, but a great precursor to actually go off of to actually see how far this would actually go. People are getting hurt and killed in this city, left and right. I bet most of the citizens of Seattle would love to be able to walk outside at night or mosey into downtown Seattle and not be afraid. But they can't, and that's your fault. You've failed them. You failed us. To quote a comment on Como from a fellow former Leo law enforcement officer, this is a Lord of the Flies scenario. It's true. It is. Hopefully, an attorney with some real guts, someone who won't be swayed by your political maneuvering or cozy relationships with the bigwigs, will offer to help us. We need a legal warrior who will fiercely challenge the corruption eaten away at our city's core. You might think you can sweep your shady tactics under the rug, disappearing texts, emails conveniently lost, and I don't know and wasn't me becoming all too familiar. Nobody know every time I hear somebody actually says it's the I don't know or the wasn't me, I always picture the little cartoon from the newspaper, um, from the particular cartoon where they'd actually draw a little child and put the I don't know on their shirt, and that's who actually did it, was the I don't know. Nobody knows nothing. It's astonishing. But guess what? We see through it all and we're not buying it. We're trained investigators. It's insulting. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a motherfucking duck. She didn't say motherfucking, but I will add those two words because, something that we all seriously have the tendency to look past when we actually see things is we just kind of look past that last bit that, oh, it could be something else. No, it's not something else. What's up, Shizzy Wiznot? Good to see you. Family Circus. Yes. Thank you, Great Liquor. Yes, the Family Circus students. Yep. We know the truth. The officers are under a gag order per the manual, but I'm not any longer. I've even heard intentional misspellings are used in emails. It's harder to PDR. I know you'll say that's not true, but I've seen what this place can do, and it isn't pretty. Your finger pointing and expert stalling tactics won't work anymore, leaving people on the unavailable list for years, waiting for them to disappear. We're onto your word salads, games, and those secret meetings. The ones where you try to get your story straight. We see you. Enough is enough. Most people will say, you can't fight the city. They have deep pockets and will drag it out forever, which is absolutely true. You will. However, the truth is the truth, and every lie will eventually be revealed. You are aware we're the integrity business, right? And the wrong people keep getting sent to OPA. Your controlling, bullying, and gaslighting tendencies have wreaked havoc on the department, driving away talented and dedicated officers. A true leader should inspire, support, and empower their team, not intimidate and manipulate them. Yet, your leadership style has done nothing but foster a toxic and demoralizing environment. Your insatiable hunger for control has left us all feeling suffocated, like we have no voice or recourse. You've created a culture of fear, and it's time for it to end. If you genuinely cared about the well being of the SPD, you'd step down and allow someone with true leadership skills to take the reins. You need a leader who will stand up for the rights of our officers, protect our Constitution, and prioritize the safety of our citizens. The city deserves leaders who will fight for the principles that this country was built upon and defend the rights and liberties of its people. Furthermore, the witch hunt on officers is shameful and disgraceful. Instead of supporting and standing by those who put their lives on the line to protect this city, you've allowed them to be demonized and vilified. You are nothing more than a yes man. At the same time, I am resolute in my commitment to upholding and defending the Constitution of the United States and protecting the God-given rights of Americans. We are as different as night and day. Seattle is an absolute dumpster fire, and I refuse to participate in your circus for one more second. I do not doubt that a reckoning is on the horizon. Your treatment of people, officers, sergeants, lieutenants, captains, assistant chiefs, your mishandling of CHOP situation, the East Precinct debacle, your baseless investigation of officers, your absurd forces, and everything in between all exemplify your abysmal leadership. In America, we don't investigate people or in search of crimes. We investigate crimes in search of people. Did you forget that is how it works? Because the former is exactly what you did to the officers because of the direction of the political wind. Disgraceful, disgusting. This is America. And as far as I know, we are free to move about the country. I'm sure you added their badges to your trophy box. I have zero faith in your ability to lead us. She really seriously didn't like this lady, or this lady didn't like this guy whatsoever and hated the whole job. There's no way that she appreciated the job for the 23 years that she was actually there. No way. No way, shape, or form. Well, you fight for a right to party is the real question. If you're not partying, what are you doing? Banana, pineapple, pretzel. What is that last one supposed to be? She's very eloquent as well. Yeah, definitely. Is that an eggplant with the head cut off? Is that what that's supposed to be? Popping bottles with lotion. Shizzy was not. I think you should go talk to your wife for a few minutes. The culture of cops and their work is too far gone, in my opinion. They live in power dynamic that extends more normal civilians. They were developed this way. They're children that become this. Yes, children are supposed to actually look up to these people as being heroes, and they might see this lady as a hero, but whoever that chief was, maybe not so much. Sweet potatoes are yum. Is that what that's supposed to be? Sweet potato? It doesn't look like a sweet potato that I've ever known. A lot of Americans are under the threat of cops. Don't wear a mask, public disturbance, get arrested for non-criminal. There's got to be a reckoning about that. I would hope so. I would hope so. They're really gross. They can be all right, maybe. Innocent lives are being destroyed, careers ruined, and families torn apart, all because you lack the backbone to defend the very officers that keep the city running. Removing you from your position in the Crystal Palace would be the first step to the right direction of the department that has become the nation's laughing stock. I have zero faith in your ability to lead. You couldn't even lead us out of a wet paper bag. It's infuriating to see how quickly you throw your officers under the bus at the first sign of trouble, eager to appease the loud and obnoxious voices calling for their heads. These officers deserve better than to be treated like disposable pawns in your political game. The Constitution and protecting our citizens should be at the forefront of every decision made in this department. But instead, you seem more interested in political maneuvering and saving your skin than in doing what's right. In conclusion, Chief Diaz, your failed leadership has left a trail of devastation in its wake. The morale of the SPD is at an all-time low, and the officers are suffering from PTSD, anxiety, and despair. The toxic environment you created has driven away some of the best and brightest, leaving behind a hollowed out department. As I leave the SPD, I hope those who remain will find the strength to stand up to failed leadership and demand the change the department desperately needs. Seattle deserves better, and its officers and citizens deserve to be treated with dignity, respect, and genuine concern for others' well being. I have no illusions that this letter will bring about immediate change, but I hope it serves as a reminder that your actions have real consequences. The truth will come to light. The legacy you leave behind will be one of failure, incompetence, and complete disregard for well being of the officers who faithfully served under you. This letter is not meant for you because your narcissistic nature renders you incapable of caring. You'll swiftly replace me without a moment's thought. No, I write this for the other officers, the true heroes, trapped in the aimless ship. They deserve a chief who possesses unwavering moral fiber and who makes decisions based on what is right rather than the whims of political winds. They deserve someone like retired Assistant Chief Steve Wilski or Robin Clark, and leaders in the truest sense of word. To my fellow officers still trapped in this mess, I hope you find the strength to rise above the toxic atmosphere that's been created. Take back control of your careers and demand a leader who respects and supports you. This isn't just my story. It's a story every officer who has been let down by a lack of leadership, every officer affected by favoritism and nepotism, and every officer who's witnessed this department losing its way. It's time to change, and it starts by holding you accountable for the actions and disregard and well being of those you're meant to lead. The accurate measure of a leader is not the power they hold, but the positive impact they have on the lives of those they lead. My wife and daughter hate them, but the babies likes them. He eats anything. Babies eat anything. Wait until they hit 2 or 3, and then they start deciding that they don't like certain things. If you start feeding them anything that has sugar in it, because they'll actually start liking the sugar and be like, "Oh, sugar! I want sugar. Give me more sugar." Stay away from the sugar as much as you possibly can. Watch the stuff that you're feeding them. Have a great night, y'all. Have a fountain to build tomorrow. Love y'all. Have a great night. You as well, Shizzy Wisnut. Sleep well. Have fun with your fountain. I don't like sushi either, but I haven't really given it a chance. See, I live in the Midwest. Sushi in the Midwest sounds wrong. Let them cool off after roasting them? Yes, definitely. Always let them cool off before or after cooking. Never feed a child something hot. They won't know how to actually take that correct. This department in city government has been utterly corrupted, and thorough house cleaning is long overdue. I hope those who remain can rise above the current state of affairs and work diligently toward rebuilding the department's integrity and reputation. My sincere wish is that positive change will eventually come, and leader with unwavering integrity and boundless compassion will emerge from the ashes to restore what has been irrecoverably lost. And when this particular instance in itself, when you actually think about it, for them to actually be replaced properly with the right people in play is almost unheard of. Once they actually become corrupted and the nepotism actually comes into play, they will actually go ahead and continue to appoint those that they have the same beliefs with. And those are the people that will continuously, be thrust to the forefront. Only once they actually make it there, if they change their mind, is when things will actually occur, is after they're there. they have to actually wake up afterward and actually want to change things from where they were. It's time for you to confront reality. You need support from someone who, with an ounce of backbone. Those who stand by you are nothing but spineless jellyfish. The media shields your scandalous affair just as you protect yourself. The SPD has transformed into a cesspool of corruption, and an independent agency should investigate your actions, which continues to erode public trust. And is it true that you sent officers to OPA because you thought they were spying on you in your girlfriend's condo building? I'm still trying to determine the answer, but someone should look into it. If true, you are using OPA for personal gain and as a weapon. He had a lot of stuff going on in his personal life that was actually brought to work. A lot of people don't know how to actually separate work from personal and need to actually do just that. I would almost bet that this is probably a subordinate officer or insubordinate officer that he actually was taking advantage of and was actually calling them, and telling them that they needed to perform, specific duties, and not necessarily girlfriend. I could see it. Disgusting. Your reign in deceit and manipulation will come to an end. The truth will prevail and justice will be served. Your house of cards is crumbling, and no amount of political maneuvering will save you from the consequences of your actions. I retire today because I refuse to grant you the satisfaction of adding my hard-earned lieutenant badge to your pathetic trophy box. A collection of badges from officers you've terminated, which I suspect sits prominently on your desk. Yep, your office has numerous leaks. I earned my lieutenant badge through sheer dedication and integrity. You will not get your grubby hands on it. Hurry, hide it before the press gets wind of it. By the way, who else collects trophy items? That's not normal or okay. So, as I walk away from the Seattle Police Department, I do so with my head held high, knowing that I stood up for what's right and refused to be silenced. My conscience is clear, and I have no regrets about speaking out against the failed leadership that has brought this department to the city and this city to its knees. And maybe, just maybe, next time 2 of your employees were stalked, terrorized, and have their home destroyed simply for being SPD officers, a simple phone call from the chief would be a basic display of decency. You had 2 employees with severe PTSD and were forced to move entirely out of the area. Not a peep from the chief. Epic fail. I'm also going to go out on a limb and say that you didn't warn other officers to watch their backs because of what happened to us. PCSO was the investigating agency. If you have any interest in learning the hell what went through, put a fork in me, I'm done. It should go without saying, but any action taken against me due to this letter, be by you or any other associates, will be seen as apparent retaliation and harassment. You're a vindictive, power-hungry individual, and I wouldn't trust you as far as I could throw you. You offered me an opportunity for an honest exit interview, and here it is. I will always stand up for what's right and what I believe in, even if I'm standing alone. Retired Lieutenant Jessica Taylor. By the way, did you seriously badge your way into the Taylor Swift concert and go to the front where people paid thousands of dollars to be there? And don't you dare say that it was work related, because you haven't done police work in years, if ever. If so, please review SPD Manual Section 5.001 and if 5.020, then report yourself to OPA immediately. Not only is she straightforward with what she needs to actually say, she's also going to go ahead and she's going to give you the, by the way, you went to a Taylor Swift concert and you badged your way into actually getting what you wanted. Taylor Swift, really? This lady was spot on, and I wish there would be more people that would actually wake up to the situation, wouldn't be so afraid to actually go after those people that have manipulated their way through the system to actually get them to the spots that they wish to be in. The Broken Baker, what's up? Like Hulk Hogan, we stand for the right of every man. I'm a real American. Yes, definitely. Well, she have a few things to get off her chest, just a few things that she had to get off her chest, and she did. She did in 15 pages, was able to get it off her, out of her head and out. I mean, I don't think it was necessarily needed to be 15 pages. You can kind of see very lengthy gaps in between each paragraph for what it was. Still totally worth it. From her, from going from jabs to personal jabs at the chief. It's really very interesting to see somebody actually stepping up to the plate and doing what was necessary to actually go after people that have actually done things that weren't necessarily the way to. It wasn't necessarily the way to go. I don't believe that she actually did that. I believe that she did it correct. I believe that she shouldn't have actually done what they wanted her to do it any way, shape, or form. And I praise her for it. I praise her for it. I'm glad that she's actually gone ahead and done just that. All that being said, thank you also very, very much for being here tonight. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. If you didn't enjoy it, go ahead, hit the like button anyway, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think I can do better next time. I will be back tomorrow at noon my time, 8 p.m. his time. The Broken Baker will be here for a members only stream. Something similar that if you actually had the enjoyment of actually seeing MLS Law here tonight, you'll actually see the Broken Baker with me tomorrow. Who knows what kind of conversation we'll actually have? It should be a good time. Again, thank you all so very much. Love you. Later.